Hello everyone, Tina Gell here with My Scrappy Ideas, and I have finished my December album, so I thought I would do a quick little look through with it. If you missed the previous video, I was following Shimelle Journal Your Christmas because we don't do something every single day in December, and I ended up documenting most of what we did and just spread it out throughout my days and only did a couple of memories from the past. But I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy to be done. Ready to get back to regular 12 by 12 scrapbooking. So this was my opening page, and I just had December Memories, Our Traditions, because this was going to be, like I said, just memories throughout all of December, not necessarily day by day. And I used a lot of new items along with my stash, and if you want to see the items that I pulled, there's a video with that. And then I had day one and just kind of a dedication as to why I was doing this album and what I wanted it to represent and hopefully show. And then I just took a couple of the 4x6 cards here and glued them back to back. And I think I shared this in the other video. It might be the one that I had problems with the sound and I ended up kind of, it's still there but it's unlisted. And I just added some sequins. And then this would be day two, and again, these were reflecting, looking back, and memories of Christmas and what I wanted for Christmas, and not necessarily anything that I had photos for. And so just a lot of journaling, some cute little cards, 3x4 cards. And the 3rd of December was just a calendar of what we were going to be doing for the month and decorated it up. This is the only page I'm really not happy with. I would like to go back and redo it. I did some stamping and it's just a little bit too busy for me, but for now it's staying. And then day 4, this was a prompt from Shimelle, just the word cozy and what it means for you during the holidays and stuff. And so I chose a picture that was of me on the day that we celebrated Christmas with our kids, and one of the gifts that they had given me, and just things that I enjoy that make Christmas what it is for me. Then we had day 5, and this was another one of Shimelle's prompts on Christmas cards, and just wrote some journaling about how every year I say I'm not going to do it, and then I do it, and then I say I'm never going to make cards again. I'm not a card maker. Then we have the 6th of Christmas, and I just documented our little elves, Edward and Tiny, here. Just wrote some little thoughts on how my husband and I had a lot of fun with our little elves. December 7th was actually a Christmas party of my husband's from his work, where we go to downtown and to a really nice historical hotel, and the food and some of the fun and just a little bit of journaling with that. December 8th is my husband's birthday, and so I documented kind of just the small little celebration that we did and what he wanted for his birthday, and then we would celebrate again once the kids came in. The 9th was on Shimelle's. It was like Christmas goodies or treats, and my favorite is Christmas cookies, cutout cookies, and so I just wrote about that and a memory that I had of my mom making them when we were little, and not necessarily having a lot of cookie cutters, and how she would let us find magazine pictures or things like that, and she would cut them out and cut the shapes from the cookies. And so just a little bit of a tribute to my mom there. The 10th, just documenting our tree, and I just wrote along the sides here so it's not as easy to read, but just a little bit about our tree and setting it up, and a little bit of fun that we had. My husband did it, and it's been a long time since he's put up the tree because our kids normally do it, and of course they weren't here. So our tree was a little short this year because he forgot to put a part in, so that was a funny little story that I told. And then for December 11th, I did the same thing. I took the 4x6 card and I glued it back to back with a journal card and just decorated it up some because I had quite a bit that I wanted to write about, because the 11th was the day that our kids flew in. And so I have a couple of pictures of my daughter coming in from the plane, and we'd brought her flowers. She loves flowers. And then when she got home with her dog and the reaction that the two of them had to see each other. So just quite a little bit. Then on the 12th was when we had our Christmas, and so I just included some photos of my family with kind of their top gifts, told a little bit about it. And then the 13th, I talked about the weather, and it's been, or it was, unseasonably warm, and so I just talked about how it was really fun for them to be coming from Florida and that they brought the Florida weather with them. So I just included the forecast for their trip here that had come in an email with their flight information and stuff to just kind of give them a heads up of what weather to expect. So, and it wasn't much cooler here than it was in Florida, so they had some really nice weather. Then for the 14th, my daughter came home sick, and she had refused to go to the doctor down there, and so we had ended up taking her to urgent care, and she was quite sick. They gave her quite a bit of medication and stuff, and an inhaler and all of that, so I just wrote a little bit about it, and I included the date card again just on a 3x4 card and backed it with another one, just for a little bit of added interest and stuff. And then for the 15th, I just talked about family gifts and things that we do each year for family gifts, and included one of them from this year, which was a puzzle. Then for the 16th, I don't know if this was a prompt of Shimelle's, but I just talked about kind of how we do dinners for Christmas and what we did this year. And so this was my son making his pie, and well, he was making the pie crust, and I helped him with the pie filling because I was starving and wanted to eat. So just told a little bit about that. And of course, by this time, the kids had left because they were only here for the weekend. So the 14th was actually the day they left. So this is what I'm saying. These things didn't necessarily happen on the 15th and the 16th, and I told that, but it's just my December memories. The 17th, I just talked about the snowman decorations and the things, how I decorate the house, and snowmen are my favorite, so just a little bit about that. On the 18th, I talked about our Christmas ornaments, because we do a special ornament each year to document the year, and so this was my son's. It's a Starbucks coffee mug for Magic Kingdom ornament, because that's where he works. And then Chewbacca for my daughter, because this was the first year that she got to go to the Star Wars weekend at Disney, and she got to meet Chewbacca, so that was a big thing. And then for me, I love owls, and so I had found a little woodland owl. Then on the 19th, I just had a picture of the tree with all of the presents under it when the kids were here before we opened them, and told a little bit of story about how I don't put names on packages, and so I included a little gift tag, and I put a question mark who it was to and who it was from, because that's just a big tradition in our family with gifts. Then on the 20th, I documented that this was not a Christmas tradition, but that I always sent little care packages to my son since he's moved to Orlando, and now that my daughter's there, I had mailed them each a box, and it was kind of ulterior motive that they would be sure to get together on the actual Christmas day and open up their box. And I had just made some cute little gifts for them, included some things that were normally in their stockings, and did a little Olaf, do you want to build a snowman, little gift bag. So I just included a photo of that with the story. Then on the 21st, like I said, we're not really doing much. The kids are gone, so it's just my husband and I, but I had leftover pretzels, and I've been trying to be good, but I just couldn't handle it, so I made up just a small little batch of white chocolate covered pretzels, and so I just kind of talked a little bit about it. On the 22nd day, I talked about our stockings and the story behind those. 23rd, some food. This is one of the little pockets that I did in the video, which I think is the one that had the sound issue, but you can watch it, just the sound. There was an issue with the sound, but I'd got the new fuse tool, so that was a lot of fun. Then this was Christmas Eve, and I'm still waiting on a picture from our church for the Christmas Eve service that will go here. And I just talked about us going to the Christmas Eve service, and then later that night, my son had texted and called with this picture, and Santa Claus had come to the Magic Kingdom, underneath the Magic Kingdom, to the workers, and he had gotten his picture taken and sent to me. And if you follow me, you know that he's my child that hates photographs, and he's always ruining the photos for me. And so this was the best present that he could have given me. He's smiling and happy, and he actually took the photo and sent it to me. So that photo means a lot. So I wished I could have blown it up to the full size, and I may go back and redo this page and do it the whole 6x8. I don't know, but very special picture. Then for the day of Christmas, I just included a photo of my husband and I. This was actually taken at the airport when we were waiting for the kids to arrive. But just talked a little bit about our first Christmas at home alone since having children. So for 25 years, we've always had the kids here. Just talked about that a little bit. And then that the kids had gotten together. One was getting off work, one was getting ready to go to work. And they met at my son's house and FaceTimed us to open up their little box of goodies. And so we got to spend about an hour talking on FaceTime. So just talked a little bit about that. And this, I thought this turned out really cute. This was an old paper piecing. This was hand cut, chalked, all of that. Just real intense before Cricket days and all of that. So it's been in my stash, and I decided to stick it in there. And I thought that was a cute little addition since the elves played such a big role in our Christmas this year. And then for the back page, I just really did several cards and did some journaling about what I'm thankful for this last year, that my family has all been healthy. We've not had any major health issues, because that's been a big thing for several years now, and just the wonderful year that we've been blessed with, and the plans that God has for us for the coming year. And so that finished my album. And like I said, I am ecstatic with it. I love it. I was getting very tired of it at the end. And I think I would probably do it again. And I enjoyed having most of the base pages cut and put in and all that, but I changed it up quite a bit. So I'm going to have to kind of fine-tune that as to how I can have some of it prepped, but yet I'm so much of a spur of the moment and not really knowing what photos or anything like that for next year. So, yep, I might do another one next year. I don't know. This was my first, and like I said, I'm extremely happy with it. I love the way it turned out. Love the cover. And so I hope you enjoyed that. And sorry I've been missing in action, but like I said, there were some problems with audio and just enjoying the Christmas season. And I'm anxious to get back this next year and get back going on a schedule. So I hope to see you around on my Scrappy Ideas, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.